Alright guys, I'm gonna do something a little bit different today. As you can see behind me, I have a pretty decent sized video game collection. It's not by any means the biggest around, but I feel like it's a respectable size. And in that collection, I do have a few games that are pretty well sought after. I don't have anything that's crazy expensive, like nothing in the triple digits or anything, but I do have some games that I think are really neat and I wanted to share them with you today. First game we have up is a game that a lot of people, myself included, really want to see it come to the Nintendo Switch. I have Metroid Prime Trilogy, the collector's edition for Nintendo Wii, with this really cool slipcover and the steelbook. I got this for Christmas when it first came out in 2009. Yeah, that sounds right. And I had played the crap out of the first Metroid Prime game back on the GameCube, and I missed out on the second one, and I played the third one when it first came out in 2007. So when this package came out, this was a great chance for me to finally get around to Metroid Prime 2. And I thought it was okay. I gotta be honest, I kinda didn't care too much for the whole Light World, Dark World thing. But the first game is a classic, and Metroid Prime 3 I think is actually kind of overlooked and underrated these days. I really like that game. But on to the next one. Next up, I have Lunar Silver Star Story Complete for the PlayStation 1. This was one that I bought at my local game shop, and I immediately played through it, and this is actually complete in box. Comes with the manual and the game, and inside, obviously the game, holding it upside down. But inside the case, there's also this really cool cloth map of the world of Lunar. Here we have it here. So this was a really cool find. It was just at my local GameStop, or not GameStop, but a game shop. There's a little local mom and pop place nearby me that I go to a lot. And this was just kind of sitting there for a good few weeks. And I was just kind of regularly checking it, and it was always there. And I eventually had the money at the right time, and I bought it right away. And I still have it. I think it was like maybe 2-ish years ago that I got this. And this is easily one of the best JRPGs on the PS1. I really enjoyed playing this. But on to the next game. Alright, so next up, I have another game for the Nintendo Wii, and another JRPG. Just a spoiler warning, the rest of these are all actually JRPGs. No real intention there, just a coincidence. Anyway, next game I've got is Xenoblade Chronicles for the Nintendo Wii. And the way I got this is actually kind of cool, so I don't know if you're aware of this, but apparently there was some big controversy when this came out, where I think GameStop was taking the new copies in, not telling the pre-order people that they came in, and then just selling them as used copies. I'm not entirely sure what the details are of that, let me know in the comments down below. But I actually was lucky enough to avoid that, because my local GameStop guy was really cool. And when this came out, I actually forgot that I had the pre-order. So the GameStop guy actually called me like maybe a few days after the game came out and said, "Hey, we have your pre-order. If you don't come and pick it up by the end of the day, we have to sell it as a used copy." So I came down, picked it up right away, and came with the art book. This is really cool. I really like art books, and Xenoblade Chronicles has some damn amazing art. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what exactly the deal is with Xenoblade Chronicles and GameStop, but apparently there was some big deal where they were ripping people off with it. And I got lucky because my local GameStop guy was really cool and told me that the game was there. So then I went and picked it up, and I still have it. On to the next game. Next game I have is the Arc the Lad collection for PlayStation 1. And this copy, unfortunately, is not a complete copy. It does come with almost everything, though. It's got the games, obviously. This is actually a collection of, I believe, 4 games. 3 main games and then a spin-off. Has the instruction manual. Nice leather-bound instruction manual here. It also comes with this little box with a bunch of goodies. Let me open that up and show you what it does and doesn't have. What it does have that's really cool is tissue paper. It also has these little cardboard stands, which I think are supposed to be like characters and artwork for the game, but since it's still sealed, I just haven't opened it yet. It also has these cool little covers for the analog sticks. But what you can see I'm missing here is the memory card holder. Unfortunately, that just was not present with this copy, and I haven't been able to find it, and I almost forgot to put the tissue paper back. But I haven't been able to find that memory card holder. I've been looking out for it for a couple years now, and I just have not come across it yet. So if you know anyone that's selling one, let me know in the comments down below, and let's move on to the next game. Next up, I have The Last Story for Nintendo Wii. Now, if you're not familiar, The Last Story, Xenoblade Chronicles, which we looked at earlier, and another game called Pandora's Tower, they almost didn't come out into America until this big fan movement, I think it was called Operation Rainfall or something, got these localized. And I got 2 out of the 3. I got Xenoblade and I got The Last Story. Unfortunately, I did not pick up Pandora's Tower, and that's a hard game to find now. But I did get The Last Story, which again, I got the Collector's Edition, which comes with a lot of really cool stuff inside of it. Got another art book inside of it. Down here. Soundtrack, which I've never listened to, but this is a new Nobuo Uematsu soundtrack, and it is damn good. Then of course we got the game, which I've played through once. When I bought this, I first played it, and I got a good handful of hours into it, but then I just kind of fell off it and never completed it. And then a good couple years later, I think this was maybe 2016, 2017 or so, I got back to it, and I finally finished it, and it was alright. Next game. The last game that we have to look up is another game that was localized by Working Designs, who did phenomenal work with Lunar 1 and Lunar 2. And this copy is not a complete copy. This actually came with a medallion originally, which I do not have. That's another one where I've been on a lookout for it for a couple years now and just haven't been able to find the medallion. So yeah, if you know anyone who is looking to sell that medallion, let me know in the comments down below. But let me show you what else we have with this one. First thing that we have is a soundtrack CD, which I've never listened to because we live in 2020. Got the game, of course, a very great game. I reviewed this on my gameplay channel a little while ago. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. And then of course we have another leather-bound manual. And what's cool with this manual is that when I bought the game, it actually came with a copy of the manual for Lunar 1. And I didn't realize that until I got home, and so when I did realize that I had the wrong manual, I immediately hopped on eBay and found it. So now I have the right manual. This also comes with a box with these same kind of little like stand figurine things that the Arc the Lad collection came with. I can show you a little bit better here. Just a little stand with the character's name and portrait. Not anything I'm ever actually going to set up. I'm going to just kind of keep these in the box so that I don't lose any of them. But this also comes with a map, which let me show you the map here because this is pretty cool. It's not fabric, so it's not quite as cool as the one for Lunar 1. But it is double-sided because you've got the map here, map of the world of Lunar 2, and you've got this nice little concept art for the game, which I really like the artwork in this game. Both of the Lunar games have some fantastic artwork. Let me put this all away here. Alright, so those are some of the more interesting games that I have in my collection. Let me know what neat games you have in your collection in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Follow me on Twitter. I hope to see you next time.